Hello everyone and welcome to MacTech 40, and today we are going to solve two questions of Indian Forest Service Mains Examination 2021, that means recent paper conducted in March. And these questions are from paper number 2, and the first one is uh, this question on the power plant, that is explain load curves, distinguish between base load and peak load of the power plant. So here I have one figure of power load curve. So what is the load curve? So that is a curve which shows the load demand variation with respect to times. Like here, in time is given in hours. So at from 24 hours, that means from night 12 a.m. to next day's 12 a.m. What is the load that is connected, or in kilowatt or megawatt? What is the energy demand? How much kilowatt energy is required? So it shows the variation, and this load can be monthly, daily basis, hourly basis, or yearly basis also. So that is called the load curve, a curve that shows the uh, variation of the energy demand on the time basis. The time may be in hours, daily, or monthly, or yearly. Okay, and what we have to do is we have to distinguish between base load and peak load power plants. So base load and peak load power plants, so what is, first of all, we need to understand what is the base load. So the base load is that the minimum energy demand that is that a power plant should be must be needed, must be fulfilled. Sorry, the minimum demand that the power plant must be fulfilled, that is called base load. For example, let me give you, suppose in particular area there need to be established a power plant. So we have to first need the data that how much energy is required, minimum energy is required. For example, if the if all the activities are going normal, so there is a minimum requirement of the energy in particular area. So that is called base load, and to fulfill that load demand, the whatever power plant we are establishing, that is called base load power plant. So it will fulfill the base load, that means the minimum energy demand that is fulfilled by that power plant. So that is called base load power plant. Now second thing, we have to understand what is peak load. Peak load, and one more thing that I forgot to in base load, that is the base load is that is required at all the time, that is minimum energy required at all the times in 24 hours, whether you take the data or daily basis, monthly basis, or yearly basis. So your that demand, for example, the base load is 500 megawatt. So that is 500 megawatt energy is required at daily or yearly, at any time, that it must be there, 500 megawatt must be there. So that is called base load. And what is the peak load? Now if you talk about the peak load, so then what is the peak load? So the peak load is that the additional energy demand apart from the base load, that is called peak load. The additional energy requirement, that is called the peak load. And whatever the power plant, so what, first of all, let me here show by the peak load. And generally, let me tell you, in evening times, so if you take the daily here, so 12 a.m, generally all the lights are off, all the people are sleeping. So whatever the street lights and all other factory units that are running 24 hours, so that's power requirement is here. And as we wake up, so this power in requirement increase. And in the when we are going for office or anything, so in morning that is required higher. Then suddenly demand decrease, because at house all the electricities are appliances are shut down, only office work is there, so there is demand is decreased. But in the evening, we are using lightning as well as in office as well as home also, and we are using various appliances also. So the demand in the evening time is rising rapidly. So this demand is called as peak load, the highest load, that is called peak load. And this is only uh, up to for this is only up to for some particular period, that is evening period. Okay, so that is only available for within few hours, for few hours of evening. And as the time grows, the demand decreases in the night. Okay, so this peak load. And if you want to understand more clearly, that uh, we know the Diwali times. So in Diwali times, and on the night of Diwali, what we are doing, we are lighting the series and all the lights and all the things. So on that day, in Diwali day the demand of energy is very high compared to our routine demand, so that is called a peak load. And the power plant which fulfill that peak load also, that is called peak load power plants. Okay, that is called peak load power plants, PLP. So this is the difference. So what is the main difference is that base load, it only fulfill the routine demand, but in peak load power plant it will also fulfill the peak load. If there is a sudden increase in the power demand, then that peak load power plant, it will fulfill that demand also. And generally all the power plants currently running, they are peak load power plants. They are designed such that they can also take up the peak load also. So I hope you cleared about this. So next question, explain the effect of increase in condenser temperature in the performance of vapor compression system. Draw TS and pH diagram. So here I have drawn a pH diagram. Let me draw TS diagram also. So here I am drawing a simple saturation cycle with green color, a normal cycle without increase in. This is 1 entry of the compressor, 2 exit of compressor, 3 exit of the condenser, 4 is the entry of evaporator. 1 2 3 4. This is 3 to 4 is expansion. Now if we increase the condenser temperature, that I am going to show with the red color. So this thing will happen, the condenser temperature will increase and here expansion will start, and 1 2 2 dash 3 dash and 4 dash. So here we know that 1 to 4, look at the in both the pH and TS diagram. Here 1 to 2, it is the original compressor work, WC. Here also you can say that compressor work. So as we increase the temperature, the pressure will also increase, condenser pressure. So to reach that pressure, up to that we need extra this compressor work. So compressor work is going to increase, and the refrigeration effect, that is 1 to 4. Initially it was 1 to 4, that is initial refrigeration effect. Now 1 to 4 dash, that is after increase in the temperature. Here you can also see that is this much amount of refrigeration effect is decreased. And as we increase the pressure ratio, this 1 to 2, so the pressure rise in 1 to 2 is less compared to 1 to 2 dash. So for higher pressure ratio and for same power or for the same optimum efficiency, we need to reduce the volume, we need reduce the mass flow rate. So mass flow rate of the refrigerant will reduce. So ultimately what, volumetric efficiency will decrease. And we know the COP formula, refrigeration effect upon compressor work. So refrigeration efficiency is decreasing and compressor work is increasing. So what's happening, so what will happen, that ultimately COP will be reduced. So I am summarizing here that compressor work is going to increase, refrigeration effect is going to decrease, and to maintain this pressure ratio, we have to compensate with the mass flow rate to match with the, because in refrigerators and air conditioner, the compressor are designed for particular pressure ratio. If we want to need some higher pressure ratio, then we have to compensate the mass flow rate, we have to reduce the mass flow rate. So mass flow rate is reduced, so ultimately volumetric efficiency is going to be reduced, and for that COP is also going to reduce. So this is the effects. And today that's it for today's guys, and tomorrow we will see some big questions of 20 marks and all that. Okay, so this is only for today that I can do, and we will meet tomorrow with some new questions. So thank you for watching this video, and subscribe this channel and like this video and share with your friends so that they will also get the benefit of this. And once again, thank you for watching and have a good day.